from her perspective, her hypocrisy, you've already pointed out, I think that's damning. But in particular, the fact that she is the deputy leader and deputy prime minister of a party and a man in Starmer who specifically campaigned, if you recall, I had conversations with you in 2023 about it, on an anti-sleaze ticket, basically using every opportunity to turn around and demarcate himself and his party away from the sleazy corrupt Tories, quote unquote. That is very damning. And isn't it also damning that she has come out here, you know, the two aspects of what I'm about to say here. She has also come out here and basically said, oh, well, this was about tax planning, trying to provide for my disabled child. Not denying that. But this is the same government that has essentially lambasted farmers for trying to do the same thing to their children, and indeed has suggested inheritance tax needs to be looked at again because, and in fairness to the government, not just them, but plenty of people who support them openly on the media have been saying, quote unquote, things like you shouldn't be able to pass on things to your children. This is the problem with politicians, but in particular Rayner as a whole. And on that note, which I find frankly insufferable and cloying, one thing that I do note, and it's not, again, forgive me, I'll just briefly go into because I'm not sure some of the listeners will be aware, it's not just Angela Rayner and her working class thing, you know, because I don't know too many working class millionaires who are worth sort of over 4 million. But let's put that aside. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. But it always seems to be the left that uses these pathos-laden, you know, ideas and stereotypes to push back against any critique or try to insulate themselves from criticism. Rayner with the working class, the woman stuff over in America for people who want to have a look at it. Lisa Cook, one of the prominent figures in economics, she has problems filling out her mortgage form. She's been accused of mortgage fraud. Letitia James, the woman that prosecuted Trump in New York, she also seems to have problems. It seems to be a common theme in the left, Ian, that either when they're going into government or senior positions, they seem to have bouts of amnesia, particularly when it comes to their financial affairs.
Do you think, could it be then, Pav, I mean, this sounds a little bit over the top maybe, but could it be that those on the left, when they think, shall I tick that box or shall I tick this box, I'll tick that one because, after all, I'm a lefty. Who's going to really think that I did this on purpose?
Well, I do, but I think that they think they're beyond the media glare.
Yeah, quite possibly.
And in particular, one of the things, I mean, that bubble bath with Beth Rigby was frankly ridiculous. And the more I think about it, I was listening to your show, listening to Julia's and even Mike's earlier, I think that was deeply cynical to go out because
100%.
The words are... you know, I think it was basically she's afraid of getting copped for this, which a normal person would. But here's above everything else I've said, and no doubt other people will say, the one thing that's really damning in this, and you've pointed it out about the number of lawyers potentially she would have. Other people have spoken about it. Obviously, the responsibility is always the individual's, whatever a lawyer says, because nobody can force you to make a decision. But here's the thing: you can quite literally go onto the internet, and I checked this yesterday. There are not innumerable, but a plethora of websites which tell you how to calculate stamp duty owed. That's the problem. That's the damning thing. Now, unless she's then going to turn around and say her internet browser was broken or because she was working class origins, you know, it's a problem. And that's the thing. And to answer your question, finally, you said, can she stay? I think she probably will because Starmer's quite weak.